Hi everybody, once again welcome to another PRTC's Community Calendar. And we've got another good one with Jenny Bunton. Jenny, it's always a pleasure talking to you here at the Civic Center. You've always got so much great talent coming to Walterboro. I mean, people, if they have not been out to the Civic Center and see some of the shows that you've brought, I mean, you know, world-class talent.
Yes.
You know, a lot of stuff to see. And speaking of stuff to see, you know, I'm a kind of a art nut anyway. You know, I love all kinds of different arts and artists and everything. And you've got an art exhibit that's going to be the entire month of February, correct?
The entire month of January going into February.
January and going into February.
Yes.
Okay, give us the full rundown.
A few months ago, I put out a call for artists just to give them a space where they could, if they've maybe never done it before, if they're seasoned artists that have done many exhibits, just to give them a space to come into for free to exhibit some of their artwork for our community. And it really has been great. We had people the last 2 months from Mount Pleasant, Megget, Walterboro, people of all walks of life. And anytime we have an event, they can go into the art gallery, they can look around and see what's going on, some of the art's for sale.
Right.
It's been really great. I've gotten a lot of good feedback. So we're continuing it because I've had other people reach out and say, hey, we want to do that. So as a matter of fact, today, I've already got one group of artists. They are middle school artists from Colleton County Middle School. Amazing potential and amazing things these kids can do. They're already on display. And this afternoon, I have two new people coming into the gallery. One is Paula Baldwin. She is a writer and a artist. She does watercolors. She goes by PK Potts.
Okay.
And then another one is Reverend Jerry Thompson, who does some really amazing 3D work with grapevine.
Really?
And so he'll be setting up this afternoon, and all of that will be on display for the next month to month and a half. So anytime we have an event, or if there's classes going on during the day here at the center, or just regular hours that we're here, the community is welcome to come take a look.
Yeah, see, that's one of those things that people need to understand. Sometimes they can just drop by.
Exactly.
You know, take their time, you know, look at all the art that's available here, and some for sale, some just to let people know what these, you know, talented artists can do.
There's some days that if I've had a lot going on, or it's been, you know, one of those days, you just go walk around and look, and you see something new every time you look. Even if it's the same picture you've looked at over and over again.
Oh, completely.
And it's just something calming. It's a beautiful open space, natural light, and just something that I want to grow over the months and the years to come, and this is how we're starting.
And it's always changing. You're bringing new artists in, new art, you know, to display.
Right.
You know, all different types of genre, like you were talking about 3D art, you know, watercolor, oils, everything else. So it's
anything and everything. I'm always looking for new people, but these three groups will be showcased for the next month to month and a half.
Okay, so all of January, all right, and then some of February.
Beginning of February, and then it will trade out in the middle of February to bring in, as a celebration with Black History Month, we work with the Low Country African American Cultural Arts Festival, and they will be bringing in an exhibit in the middle of February.
Awesome. Look forward to all the above. All right, once again, the art exhibit all the month of January, part of February. And if you haven't stopped by the Civic Center to check out the art room, really, I guess is what we can call it, or display of the art room.
The gallery, whatever.
Gallery. That's the word I was looking for.
Gallery.
The art gallery. It's really neat, and it's changing. Jenny keeps up with it and does a great job. Hey, speaking of great jobs, we've got another thing coming up. It's the auditions for Complaint Department and Lemonade. And I understand this is part of the Children's Theater?
It is. The Children's Theater, we came back in a big way 2 years ago. This past year we did Peter Pan, and it's a service and it's a program for ages 7 through 17. During COVID, there was a group of kids, my daughter included, that didn't really get to finish out, maybe started with the Children's Theater when they were little. They missed out in their older years being able to do a big production, and they aged out of it. So when we came back this past year, one of my fellow co-directors, Bree Chapman, who was also with us in the Children's Theater plays from a young age, came to me and said, is there any way we can somehow get older kids involved? And I said, well, what do you think? And I let her run with it. And she came up with a workshop. We're starting it as a workshop program through the Children's Theater, but it's called Colleton Children's Theater Encore. And it's going to be specifically for ages 18 through 25.
The ones that might have missed out because of COVID.
Exactly. Right. And we're hoping to tap into those kids that maybe went off to college and they're back, or maybe some kids that have chosen to stay a little bit closer to home for college, but also want that creative outlet.
Sure.
So Bree found this play. We're going to be starting production on it within the next couple of weeks, with auditions being this week, this Sunday. She's looking for actors, but she's also looking for set designers and any other type of tech people that maybe want to never have done it before and want to see what it's about, or maybe seasoned actors and tech people that just want to take their creativity and put it somewhere.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of people don't realize there's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff, not just what's on stage. You know, you've got a lot of men, women, young ladies, young men that want to learn maybe the sound part of it, or the set design part of it, or all the other things that happen. And it gives them a chance to use their creativity as well.
And we've had a few of those kids. I know they've been utilized at the high school here in town, at the Performing Arts Center with the tech aspect of it. I have one of my backup people. He's a student at Salkehatchie that he comes in and helps Scott with the sound and lights and some other stuff going on. But this will just give a different population maybe some more opportunities in a performing arts way.
You never know where it's going to carry you. I mean, my initial thing before I got into radio when I was a kid, truly a kid, was I wanted to be a recording engineer. And, a friend of mine suggested, well, before you get into that, maybe you just want to stop by the radio station and see if you can get something going on over there, just to see if that's anything you'd be interested in. And so that's where I originally went to the radio station when I was about 15, started when I was 16, and well, anyway, we know how that worked out. So you never know.
Exactly. You don't.
You
In this
never know.
building, I mean, there's so many opportunities in this building. And with any program that I bring in, whether it be children's theater coming in or other things for the community, this is a civic center.
Right.
And I want to try and put as much out there as we possibly can in our community, because it's a great community. There's a lot of creativity in this community, but we just need maybe some more ways to show it. And so I'm hoping this takes off.
All right, and once again, that is going to be going on. You got the auditions for Complaint Department and Lemonade. I'm kind of interested to find out what that plays about.
I am too. I'm curious to see how this goes.
So anyway, those are going to be January the 12th at 2 p.m. right here, right?
Right here.
All
right
right,
here.
fantastic. Have I told you lately how much we need to appreciate you for what you do for the Civic Center in Colleton County?
Well, and the community, the support I'm getting from the community, it's growing, and it's getting bigger and bigger, and it's exactly what I wanted. I just don't want to stop. I want to keep moving forward.
Well, you're doing a fantastic job.
you.
Speaking of which, we're going to take a quick break. We're talking to Jenny Bunton. We're talking about everything when it comes to the Civic Center and all the great entertainment and art and so much more that she's got coming to our jewel that we have in Colleton County. It's called the Civic Center. You know, when I was growing up, it was the Walterboro Hampton Street Auditorium.
Me too.
But there you go. But here it is, the Civic Center, and it looks beautiful. It's a great place to perform. We're going to be talking with Jenny again in just a few moments. Going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with PRTC's Community Calendar. I'm Miles Crosby. Once again, welcome back to PRTC's Community Calendar. We're talking to Jenny Bunton. We're at the Civic Center, and it is a jewel in the crown of what we have in Colleton County. And speaking of a jewel, the person who helps run it, Jenny, you've got comedy that's going to be mixed with veterans.
Yes.
And it's going to be a big show coming up, and it's going to be happening January the 18th. Tell us a little bit more about the Veterans Comedy Night.
When I have people contact me about what all I bring to the Civic Center and the Hampton Street stage, they always ask about comedy. And comedy makes me a little nervous because you just never know what kind of crowd you're going to get, what kind of show you're going to get. But with my dad, comedy was everything was rooted in comedy with him. So it was serendipitous because I had this lovely gentleman named Joe Mabe call me and say he lived in Walterboro and he was a stand-up comedian. And he was a jack of all trades. He said, I want to come and meet with you. And Joe came and talked to me, and he told me about a group of friends. They were all veterans, different branches of the military, and I started looking these guys up. They have traveled all over the Lowcountry and the Midlands. They are known all over Charleston and Moncks Corner, Dorchester. So I thought, you know what? People are asking for comedy. Let's do this. We have a very big veteran support area here in Colleton, big veterans population. So I told Joe, I said, let's make this happen. And bless his heart, he just took the reins and ran with it. He lined up originally three comedians. I think since then he's gotten a fourth one
It's
to
going
come
to be
in.
5. Counting Joe, it's going to be 5.
Yes. So he's a go-getter. He's a neat person, and I'm super excited about this. And I really, really hope the community comes out and supports. We finally have our online ticket sales up and running at colletoncivic.org, so you can get tickets for it online or at the door here, or at my office ahead of time, or even the Colleton Museum's always got some.
And if I read right, it's $15.
That's it.
That's super cheap.
That's
you get to
it.
see 5 comedians.
Yes, it is family friendly.
Yeah.
We also are going to have 2 poor girls here yet again, set up in our gallery with their cash bar and specialty drinks. We're going to have some concessions.
I think people love that. I mean,
they
I
do.
think, come out and, have a cocktail, enjoy the show, especially on a comedy night, that sort of thing.
Exactly. So I'm really, really excited about this. I'm excited because Joe made me excited about it. And I've talked to these guys through email. They've helped spread the word on social media, reading their stories and about them. I'm just really happy about them coming. Now I just need people to come see them.
Got to come out and support all the stuff you're bringing in. I
Exactly.
mean, and once again, world-class, comedians, basically, and they've also, given a lot for our country. They're
Yes.
veterans, and
Yes.
so you take 2 of the things that I love, comedy and veterans, put them together in a show,
Yes.
and it's going to be January the 18th. Now, in just a second, I've got a segment coming up. I'm going to be talking to Joe himself.
I
Joe
know, and I
Mabe.
can't wait. I want him to tell you about these guys.
I'm
and
looking
everything.
forward to what he has to say.
He's a character.
With that being said, then we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to be talking to Joe. We'll be right back in just a few moments. You're watching Community Calendars with PRTC. Joe Mabe talking about comedy and veterans coming to the Civic Center. That's next. Welcome back, everybody. I'm really excited about the Veterans Comedy Night, and to talk more about it, Joe Mabe. Joe, I'd say, first off, comedy. I love comedy, love comedians, love comedy, but I also love veterans, and you're putting these 2 together. So tell us a little bit about the veterans that you're bringing on board, and you're a veteran as well, correct?
Yes, sir.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, okay, the veterans bringing on board, he's got 3 on the flyer. But actually, I'm bringing a 4th one in, too.
Okay.
I call them good friends. I mean, great friends, all funny guys.
Well, let's go down the lineup. You got Uncle Boudreaux, you've got Stan, what is it?
Stan Shelby
and
Brandon
Johnston.
Yeah.
All right, so those are the 3, and then you, Joe, and then who else you got coming up?
I'm bringing a good friend of mine. His name is Dennis V.
Dennis V.
Army veteran from Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Okay.
He's going to come. He asked to come in, do like a 15-minute guest spot.
Sweet.
Me and Dennis went to a comedy school together called ASAP, Armed Services Art Partnership.
So when you got out of the military, you were able to go and take really courses on comedy?
No, sir. I got in the military, started driving a truck.
Oh, okay.
I drove a truck for 10 years, over the road.
Right.
I didn't get into really comedy, stand-up comedy until March of last year.
Okay, all right. But you were able to do it on the GI Bill, or?
No, actually, the ASAP school is free for veterans and their family.
Okay, good. Awesome. Well, thank you for your service, obviously. Now, how did you meet these other veterans and get everybody together?
Well, first one I met was Brandon. Young lady, a Marine veteran. She runs a business in Citadel Mall called ARC Take Two, which is entertainment. I told them about getting stand-up comedy. She put me in charge with Brandon, and he's been a mentor for me. I run ideas across him and bounce off. He's been helping me quite a bit.
Right. You said Brandon was a Marine?
Marine.
All right, now which branch were you in?
I was in the Navy.
A Navy, okay. My uncle's a fighter pilot in World War II in the Navy. Yeah. Flew off of a couple of aircraft
He
carriers.
probably served under my wife's cousin.
Well, it's very cool, very cool. But anyway, so you met Brandon through your ties with the military.
Yes.
And your love of comedy.
Yes.
And you've been working with Brandon. Well, tell us a little bit more about that and some of the other guys.
Okay. Like I said, meeting Brandon, he's helping me. He's gave me the pointers what to do. He's been some of the shows that I've done solo.
Right.
And he said, for you starting out young, you got gusto and stuff like that, especially putting this show on.
Right.
You're taking on a big chunk. I said, well, I've organized other events in the past.
Right.
So I said, okay, you got it. If you can handle that one, you see what you do with this one.
Okay.
We're good friends. We kind of talk to each other at least once a week. We try to go to an open mic night in Charleston somewhere, bounce ideas off each other.
Right.
Stan Shelby, a Navy veteran. I met him through Brandon.
Okay.
I've done a show couple of shows with him. He's a funny guy. He's put a different life on the Navy life. Uncle Boudreaux.
I love that name.
Well,
Obviously,
name's Cajun,
right.
looks like Cajun, sound like Cajun, but actually he's from Orangeburg.
Hey, it's okay.
I mean, he's good. I mean, he does a guitar. I mean, he plays guitar in his jokes and stuff. Sings. He's a very, very funny guy. As you heard Jen talk about, he does play a good Santa Claus during Christmas.
Right.
But all these guys are funny. I mean, I wouldn't have any other way. I like kind of keep it local this time around. So
I like the fact that, like you said, you guys have teamed up, for your love of comedy, but also the bond of being brothers that served in the military.
Yes.
So you've got that common bond as well. Yes. And it's kind of, is there many veteran comedian teams like this or getting together like this?
yes, there is. There are quite a bit. Robin, I can't remember her last name. She's getting ready. Either she's getting ready to go on tour or something like that. She's traveling with a bunch of veterans. I know she's going to Hawaii and some overseas spots. Dennis V is lighted up organization with comedy. He's kind of promoting mental health with his stuff.
Well, speaking of which, I was just getting ready to bring that up, and you actually broached in a subject. Sometimes we get veterans that come back, if they've been in a stressful war situation or whatever the case might be, and sometimes transitioning back into civilian life can be a little difficult.
It is.
And I like the fact you guys are working together to bring happiness and comedy, and working together to try and spread some of that comedy, and kind of work through all the other stuff. And, maybe some other veterans could learn to,
I mean, like I said,
or enjoy the show.
like I said, biggest thing is, my recommendation for that is if you're a veteran, contact Armed Services, our partnership. I mean, it's free to veterans and families.
Right.
I mean, it says, like my course, our stand-up was 6 weeks. I mean, it's either Zoom or you can go to Norfolk or whatever one day a week to go in-person class. It's an outlet for us.
Right,
I
that
mean,
makes perfect sense.
we all got one thing in common. We all been there, done that.
Right. And once again, rightfully so that you guys have these benefits, and God bless you're able to utilize them, and it's helping bring y'all and bring entertainment.
Yes.
To the Low Country. Now, speaking of which, this is going to be in the Civic Center, what we used to call Hampton Street Auditorium years ago. Jenny brings on some great shows, and we're really looking forward to this one. It's going to be January the 18th, which is a Saturday.
Yes.
And so you're going to have 4 comedians.
Plus myself.
And plus you, Joe.
Yes.
So 5 total.
Yeah.
And what's the cost of admission? What's it going to cost?
$15. You can get your tickets at the door, online, museum, or here at the Civic Center.
All right. And $15. I mean, that's a
$15 for 5.
for five comedians who are working, in once again down in Charleston and all around, and also have served the country. And I think people need to come out hot and heavy and support you guys.
Yeah, I'm hoping this be a yearly thing for us. I would like to do it more during Veterans Day to help promote some Veterans Day festivities. I know Walterboro is huge on the Veterans Day deal.
Right.
I appreciate that. Actually, Walterboro is huge just for veterans in general.
Well, we're blessed with the Victory House.
Victory House. I've been living here for 3.5 years, and I have been in awe the way they accepted veterans. The other day I had a lady chase me down through Walmart to say thank you. My plan is to have improv here. I already got my improv people set up. But this is where audience can get involved.
Right.
What comes through the door, they can fill out a piece of paper saying of a subject.
Right. And you guys can kind of riff on that.
I'll be hosting, first, whose line is it anyway on TV?
Know exactly what you're talking about, yeah.
And I want to bring comedy to Walterboro. I want to try to bring some open mic comedy nights here, get some business to host it, and I'll take care of everything. It's where the public can get involved. If they won't try comedy, 5 minutes of fame.
Yeah, there you go. Get up on stage, see if it's something you want to do. I think that's a great idea. Yeah. So I like all you're doing, Joe. And once again, we're going to remind everybody, it's going to be the Veterans Comedy Night. It'll be January the 18th, and they're veterans bringing some joy into your life with comedy, and Joe is heading it all up, putting it all together. Joe, thank you for your service. Thank you for doing this,
No problem.
and we look forward to seeing you guys on the 18th.
And actually, you'll probably have my service dog with me.
All right, well, fantastic. What kind of dog you got?
I got a Newfoundland.
Okay,
I mean,
great.
yeah,
Great.
she's a clown too, so.
I love it. Well, Joe, it's a pleasure, my friend.
Yeah,
And once again, we look forward to seeing you on January 18th, along with your
I
friends.
look forward to.
Thank you for your service.
You're welcome. Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. All right, we'll be right back. You're watching once again PRTC's Community Calendar. Stay with us. Welcome back to PRTC's Community Calendar, and we're going to be talking about Lifting as We Climb. It's all part of a play about Charleston area civil rights leader Septima Clark. If you know where the crosstown is, that is the Septima Clark, I think it's called the Freeway now, but anyway, it's right in downtown Charleston. Septima Clark, they're going to be having a play about her, and Jenny, it is going to be coming to the Civic Center. Tell us more.
Pure Theater in Charleston that has been around forever. They're amazing. They have a play that they created and that they have produced called Septima, and they've done it for a few years now. I first learned about it last year in Beaufort. Bonnie Hargrove, that used to be here,
Right.
Bonnie called me and said, Jenny, you've got to meet these fabulous people and come see this play. I was in tears. It is beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. The people in it, it's a very small cast, and they tell about the life of Septima Clark in Charleston and wherever she went from there with her family. The fact that she was an educator in a time that African American educators, it was rough. She was a civil rights leader. She was just an amazing, amazing person. And they tell this play through stories, narrations, gospel music. It is a very, very moving experience. And what Pure Theater has done is they write grants to take this show on the road and make it accessible to anyone interested. So this past year, they included us.
Awesome.
And we are very fortunate to have them visiting us because the production will be free to anyone interested.
Wow.
So that morning at 11 o'clock, they are going to do a school show that I have already sold out.
Wow.
And then that evening, that Thursday evening, the 27th, at 6 o'clock, they're going to do it free of charge for the public.
All right, once again, world-class talent coming right here
Yes.
to Walterboro.
Yes.
And it's a way to learn a little bit about our history.
And people right down the road from us.
Yeah, right there in Charleston.
It's a special month to learn about history, but when you also include people that made such enormous impacts on the world, and they were right here in our area, what they did, we need to learn about it. And I am just so honored that they're including us in their tour.
All right, well, once again, we're blessed to have that. Now, when is that going to be?
That is going to be Thursday, February 27th, that evening at 6 o'clock. Throughout the month of February, we love to partner with different people. We've got the Low Country the Low Country African American Cultural Arts Festival is going to be set up in the gallery for a week. I do believe that is the 9th through the 15th. Right. And during that time, they're also going to be bringing the South Carolina State Choir to perform right here on the Hampton Street stage.
Awesome.
There'll be more info about that on the website. And then our annual county African American celebration for Black History Month will be the last Sunday of the month, and there'll be more information coming out on the website about that as well.
Well, once again, you got a lot of ways to remember Black History Month with some great information, some great talent, and in all kinds of different genres, like you said.
And all of these programs for that month of February are free.
Wow, wow. So once again, that's going to be coming up all throughout February in the Civic Center.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. And all that info is at colletoncivic.org.
colletoncivic.org.
Or on Facebook and Instagram.
Well, Jenny, anything else we need to add before we wrap up?
I just need y'all to come back and see me for some fun stuff in the spring. More comedy, bands, and celebrations.
Always a pleasure seeing you.
Good to see y'all. Thank y'all for coming.
Thank you. Once again, we've been talking to Jenny Bunton and talking about everything when it comes to the Colleton Civic Center. She does such a fantastic job, and we do appreciate her. You need to as well by coming out and supporting all the great entertainment she's bringing here to Colleton County. Once again, for PRTC's Community Calendar, and for Jenny and for Jason, who is behind the cameras there helping us out, I'm Miles Crosby. Thanks for joining us.